All right, hey y'all. So earlier today, I said that I was going to do another live stream regarding a workers' bill of rights because it was like right when I had to go. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said something about a workers' bill of rights, and I was like, this is genius. This is exactly what we need. Um, and I've been thinking about it, and especially I just got done watching Independent Outsiders. Hold on a sec. Gotta fix my phone. Okay, I just got done watching Independent Outsiders live stream about, pretty much uh, how he's not endorsing anybody and stuff like that, and talking about unions. Let me see. Who we got here? Nash. Hey, Jeremy. So if we're going to create a workers' bill of rights, and I think that this is something that we need to do. Uh, Not just for workers. I mean, I think that we should play around with the idea of the whole thing. Like, we need to redo. I mean, if we're going to create something, if we're going to make a change, I don't want to think so small as to just, I mean, not that these issues and policies are small, but let's start with creating what would our perfect society look like? What kind of laws would we have? What kind of system would we have set up? You know, things like that. And then work backwards from there. Let's kind of paint the picture of the America that we want to have. Because to me, it's not a matter of what we can and can't have. It's a matter of what we're willing to fight for and make happen. And so I'm working backwards from that. So I think one of the biggest problems right now is that we do not have a uh, there are no rights. What workers' rights? I mean, do you believe that if you go to work and something happens, do you, like, your boss cares about you? Like, they want to do right by you, that that they're going to compensate you um, fairly, or if you get sick, that they'll make sure that you get health care? We all know that that's a just total sham. That's never, ever going to happen. Not the way that we have things set up right now. So if we're going to... Oh, hey, Forsaken. Something's going screwy with my chat. Now it's not showing Jeremy or Nash. That's so weird. Anyway, yeah. So what kind of rights would you like to see in our Workers' Bill of Rights? Temporary privileges. How can they be rights if someone can take them away? I'm not sure I understand what that means. I've heard that said before too, but it's not so much that they can take them, but we've given them away and we let them have them. We let them have the power, and we let them make the rules, and we let them, determine, we let them do this. And I know that it's not so simple as just to say, well, just stop doing it. I mean, because I know that these are people's paychecks and their livelihood and all this stuff. That's a big factor. I mean, most people don't have the luxury of going weeks or months without any pay. Hey, Andy. So, what would be in our Workers' Bill of Rights? Now, I like the idea, and it was said in the last live stream. Can I get my pen? I know, I just had that pen. Don't you hate that when, like, you're sitting there and you haven't moved and then you lose something. Like, how does that even happen? Okay, I got a different pen. Oh, okay. Hello, James from Mana Talk. Ugh, is this a boring topic? So I would say a 4-day week. I think this 5-day work week is, quite frankly, ridiculous. We have the people necessary. I mean, when you look at unemployment and stuff, why do we have a bunch of people working all these hours and stuff when we could just distribute it a little bit more evenly? And who wants to work 5 days a week anyway? I mean, seriously, 4 days is enough. That should be considered full time. All right, and I'm glad you're here, Independent, because you're more schooled on unions and stuff like that. So what do y'all think about the 4-day week? You think that should be one? I don't want to write it down unless we kind of come to somewhat of a consensus. That's a 4. You mean 4 10-hour shifts? Or should we cut down the hours of it? I mean, I honestly don't think, 30 to 35 I think would be sufficient. Let's see what chat has to say. Yep to 4 10-hour shifts, or yep to 30 to 35 hours. Higher minimum wage, so that 36-hour wage. Okay. All right. And I think that the living wage, I will put on there guaranteed living wage as the second one. These are in no particular order, but just ideas as they're coming along. So, 36 hours is what everybody's saying. Okay. Minimum wage tied to inflation. I would like to see minimum wage because there should be a calculation. Housing is supposed to be considered a certain percentage of your income. Utilities are supposed to be considered a certain percentage of your income. Groceries, a certain percentage. And then calculated in the area. That's how the living wage should be calculated. Because I know it's different in certain areas. So when you look at the average cost of things and how much you're supposed to be paying for that, then that should be your living wage. Okay, so that's what you meant. Okay, tied to inflation. Okay. Postal employees get at least 2 cost of living average increases a year. COLA. Alright, so got that. Guaranteed living wage. Alright, and we'll go into more detail. I tried to look up how to write policy today, and I'm going to be honest, my ADHD kicked in, and I was like, whoa, this is really boring. So I'll get there. It's going to take me a little bit of time to understand that, but yeah, we'll get there. I'm gonna have to tackle that in tidbits. All right, so what else do we want? I mean, if our boss is sitting across from the desk from us right now, and we're gonna say these are our demands, this is what we earned, this is what we deserve, and I don't even know, should it be Living wage? I mean, living wage, yeah, definitely. But, or should it be a percentage of the profits? Because the way I see it is, this is a 50-50 relationship. You hear me? Like, I get it. I wouldn't have a job if you didn't have a company, but you wouldn't have a product if it wasn't for us. So they want to hold that over our heads, like, well, we're the ones that we're doing you a favor by giving you a job. No, you need us. Guaranteed sick time, earned annual leave. And we're going to keep this one somewhat short, short for my live streams. Because I got to get up early in the morning. So, how much time realistically did you have to take off when you had your babies? To be honest, this is going to sound really bad, but after 2 weeks, I just wanted to get back to work. Like, I go a little stir crazy just sitting there, you know what I mean? And I'm just like sitting there, and I'm guessing this is when I'm supposed to be doing my, I don't know, scrapbooking or whatever it is, you're supposed to do after you pop one out. But I just don't like downtime. I mean, you need at least 6 weeks for your body to heal. And then on top of that, as much as I hate just sitting around, newborn babies aren't, you gotta feed them and stuff, but they're not really, they sleep a lot. Now, after about, 2 months, 3 months, there's a gnat in here. 2 to 3 months, that's when you need your time off. That's when they want to stay up all night and they want to keep you up all night. Like, that first year is bad. The first couple of months isn't. But after that, that's when I think the parental leave should really kick in. Because that is hard. All they do is like cry and poop and eat. And cry and poop and eat. I love my babies, I do. But I do not reminisce about the days of when they were little tiny babies. No, they were helpless and they were miserable, and they couldn't do anything for themselves, and it was just sad to see them just laying there, and I'm like, what do I do? They have no way of communicating, and I'm like, you're crying, what is it? Ugh, it's so stressful. But once they get to be like 3 or 4, they can communicate reasonably well. You can start playing with them, and but before that, it's like, God, it's all work. Bonding time for mothers and fathers when needed. Yeah, we'll just put parental leave, because that should be up to the individual parents. Because, to be honest, there's certain times, throughout childhood that kids just need their parents more. Like, let's say if you're going through a divorce, you're going to need more time to spend with your kids. If, or if there's like a big life-changing event, that should be when the parental leave should really kick in. Some people need that, right after they have the baby. For me, that wasn't me. Whistleblower protection. That's a good one. Which I'm surprised that they passed some whistleblower laws here, like within the past year or two, to protect whistleblowers within a company. Now, I'm sure whatever it was to support one of their, donors or Goonies, but still very strange to see. Just jumped in. Are you talking about collective bargaining as a union across from management? Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Just basic workers' rights. ESOP? What's that? I'll write that down. Guarantees and employees get first option before any sale of company or closing of facilities. How would I word that? I'm trying to ESOP guarantees. That's why you sell them before they get to that age. Yeah, crying, pooping, eating, sleeping, destroying machines. Yeah, with my youngest, man, I thought, look, only one of us is going to make it out of this alive. He was a terror. He was a terror. I was like, no, there's no way both of us are going to survive this. It was like a death match with him, but luckily we made it through it. Employee stock option plan. Oh, okay. ESOP, and what was the other thing that you said with that? Let me scroll back up. First option. If we get universal comprehensive single payer for all employers, we just have to pay a set tax percentage. Huh? For all employers, for all. Oh, okay. Single payer for all employers would just have to pay a set tax percentage. Okay, I got you. Or profit share. Yeah, I wouldn't see that. That's what I liked about the whole Medicare for all thing, is because I don't want it tied to your workplace, because that also leaves you indebted to your employers and keeps you dependent in some way. It doesn't give you the freedom to change jobs. Yeah. So I'm a little bit slow sometimes, forsaken, when I'm reading stuff. I'm like, what? I don't get that. Alright. Profit share. Percentage of full-time workers. You have 80% full-time employees. Is that for where you work, or just in America in general? And I knew this. Remember when Obama passed something like that law to where if somebody works full time, you have to offer them benefits. And I was really new to the process then. I mean, I was really, really new. But when I heard that, I thought, well, then they just won't let us work full time. I mean, where there's a way to wiggle around it, they will. 8 out of 10 have to be full time. Okay, your facility. Compulsory health care? I haven't heard that phrase before. Oh no, okay. I'm not sure. So we've got six things so far. I'd like to get at least 10. That way we can work on, or I can, and then we'll do a live stream about it. Some of the specifics, the legalese of it. Oh, penalty for not having health care, the Obamacare thing. Yeah, they just started working people like 30 hours and just hire more people. And then that just forced people to work more jobs, and then then nobody got health care. It wasn't Papa John's one of those places. I'm pretty sure. Guaranteed collective bargaining. Right to unions. A right to union. I love that one. Yeah, Papa John's was. Yeah, right now a lot of places tie benefits to whether you're full-time and avoid paying by not giving anyone enough hours. Yeah, I'm always up. I, I don't I don't rest very well, so and my hours are erratic. Union creation should be easier. I'm shocked at how difficult it is for some to organize. Yeah. I mean, it was like this at the hospital that I worked at, CAMC. My ex-husband, his dad, was walking into work one day. Somebody gave him a pamphlet, stuck it in his coat pocket, didn't think anything of it, but it hung his coat up in the locker room. They suspended him because it was a union pamphlet. They suspended him for that. Just for taking that. He didn't even know what it was. They suspended him for it. That's how seriously they'll take that. If they think you're going to be a troublemaker, ooh, they'll get rid of you so fast. And by troublemaker, I mean, you know, you want things that you need. Wow, Austin. $21 an hour, union guy, still can't make rent. Do you live in like one of the coastal, like East Coast, West Coast? I'm assuming. That sounds like some New York stuff. Well, and that's the other downside to unions is, look, we have the UMWA here. And the UMWA fights to protect coal jobs. Coal jobs are not good for the people or the planet. But it fights to preserve a job that is obsolete and puts people in harm's way. So, on the one hand, they are fighting to keep people employed, but I mean, at what cost? Yep, California. Yep. Yeah, because I hear $21 an hour, and over here, man, like you live high off the hog, but not so much over there. That's like okay, like you're not gonna, and especially depending on what area you live in. I know like Northern California is way more expensive. Son is a welder. Good money. Daughter is a Marine. Dang. National news don't help out. All right. Well, if our corporate overlords will let us finish this conversation, if there are union rumors at a Walmart, they immediately fly attorneys out to Bentonville to the locations to manage it. Mm-hmm. All right. Are we good now? We're not buffering anymore, are we? I hope not. All right. So we've got 7. Ow! 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 I really need get set up. Okay. All right, we're good now. All right, so we got 7 things so far. Then maybe we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to push it or try to force any ideas that they should be, on and come to naturally. But 7's really good. I want to start maybe putting specifics on some of these, and maybe that's something we should think about. Hold on. Oh, thanks, Austin. Oh, pension plan, 401k. Yes, yes, thank you. That's a great idea. I do not have that. Pension. Wow, yes, of course. Pension and 401k. Yeah, I don't even know how that stuff works. Is it? All right, I'm going to have to look more into 401ks. I had one at one point when I worked at the hospital, but, when I lost my job, I had to, use all of it. So I hope that wasn't supposed to be my retirement. Like all, $2,000 of it. I feel like I'm just forgetting something because when you go to your job and you think about, we should throw something in there about safety regulations, because I think people should be, they should have the right to a safe work environment. Retirement's just a word. Yeah. When the average life expectancy is lower than the retirement age, it's just a word. Yeah, because that gets, especially in right-to-work states, when you look at right-to-work states, worker deaths and, injuries go way up. Way up. That's what OSHA is for, but OSHA aren't they dramatically underfunded? They don't have the people or the resources to actually go and investigate these work sites. I mean, that's how the MCHM spill happened here. Yep, see, Blaine, they want to raise it again because, I mean, workers have access to, things that make us healthy and make us live nice, long, healthy lives to where we can work forever and retire and still enjoy a little bit of our old age. But there aren't enough inspectors in OSHA. Oh, no, I did not see Graham when I was out in California. Option. Let's see. Joe said workers should have the option to buy a company if the owner wants to sell or move with the government loans. That's in Corbin's platform. Yeah, definitely agree. I put that one on there earlier. Right to work for peanuts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, FDA is a joke. Workman's comp. Okay, so workman's comp. And we might have to put something on there about hiring practices, what they can and can't do, maybe as far as questions they can ask, or should they be allowed to hold a jail sentence against you? Or if they can, what types of offenses? Obviously, we don't want molesters working at a daycare or anything like that, but jail terms, not fines. Ooh, I like that one. Accountability, which is something this seems to be lacking. Jail time. Yeah, especially when it results in the deaths of people, of workers. Like, let's say Upper Big Branch, where they were coerced to work into unsafe mining standards, and these people died. 26 miners died because they wanted to save a buck. And they died violent and horrific deaths. Where are we planning on proposing this Worker Bill of Rights? Well, right now I think we'll work on that kind of stuff, where we're going to put, how we're going to put our policies into action. But right now we're just creating the things that we want and specifying it, and really like narrowing it down to like specific. I mean, I want this in policy form that we're going to take. And I don't know if one of us wants to do it, or if we should petition certain people to do it, or a certain party. We'll figure that out later. I think the most important thing right now that we're focusing on is what we actually want to see, because I think that if we have a strong policy, and then we'll get our strategy together, we'll map out our strategy about how to get it implemented. So yeah, that's where I'm at. If y'all have a different idea or different game plan, I'm all ears. That's just what my train of thought. If you worked at a place for 1 year and it's a no-fault termination, they have to pay you 1 or 2 weeks' salary. That would relieve pressures on both the social system and the citizens. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put that. See, I don't know. Here's the thing. I live in West Virginia, and like, workers' rights it's an oxymoron. Like, it's a joke. Like, you're what? You're a worker. Like, what do you think you have rights? You think you deserve things? Like, that's not a thing. Like, it's not. They can do whatever they want to you. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and with Medicare for all, employers could raise wages. That's a really good point. I mean, I don't know so far as like these big companies. I don't think it affects them as much, but these little, like, mom and pop stores, yeah, that would definitely free up more money. I mean, it sounds right to me. Look into leftist critiques of UBI. Oh, mandatory conditional termination pay. Yeah, like these big, the head honchos of these places, and the white collar people, they get packages when they leave the company. With us, it's just like, don't let the door hit you. In West Virginia, aside from the coal industry, who are the biggest employers of the state? Teachers are another one, and retail, and hospitals. Because, with all the pollution and poisoning of our people, and that we have an older population, the average age here is like 45. A lot of retired people, so, people more susceptible to illness, plus the fact that due to the pollution of our air and water and soil, our cancer rates and birth defects and things like that are so high that people just generally stay sick. So, health industry always wins. In New Jersey, the new governor passed a guaranteed sick leave act. Whoa. Maximum work hours. Yeah, it wasn't that thing like in China or something, like these people are actually literally working themselves to death. How many hours in a shift have you worked in a hospital? 16. That was the longest shift I ever worked, but there was one time when I was pregnant with my first son that I worked 14 12-hour shifts in a row because I had to take time off. And your short-term leave doesn't kick in for a year, and I had to literally work up until the day that I had him in order to get the time off. Oh, you've done 18 and worked 18 days. I bet you were like a zombie by the end of that. Alright. So, I'm going to head out. It's getting late. We got about 40 minutes. About 1:40 in the morning. Mandatory. Okay, yes, we got to put that one on there. Yeah, I'd like to see, like, voting to be like a week-long thing. Now, if we can celebrate Christmas for like 3 months, I think that we can get like a week for voting. You know what I mean? And then just sometime within that week, you can claim, your day off to go and vote and do what you gotta do. Yeah, isn't that sad that we have to put bathroom breaks in our Bill of Rights? Like, we have the right to take a piss. That's so bad. God. I mean, like, how dystopian is this? We just want to go to the bathroom. Like, is that piss rights? Okay, all right. So we've got 16 things on here. That's fantastic. that gives us a lot to work with. Um, yeah, that's awesome. And maybe what we should do is have, since unemployment is such a big problem as well, maybe we should have unemployment rates. Just an idea. Exercising my piss rights. God, that's that redneck coming out in you, Andy. All right. Wow, this has been awesome. Really, thank you so much for the information. And let me make sure. All right. Good night, everybody. All right. I'll see you next time. Hopefully, I'll do another one tomorrow. I work a day shift tomorrow. I'll be in trouble. It's not going to be a good day. But, yeah. Um, hopefully, we'll do another one tomorrow evening. And, if you can think of a topic that you want for the next one, because so far we started working on our Workers' Bill of Rights. What else did we work on? Look at my notes here, real quick. Wrong notebook. Binders. Okay, so we started talking about what our platforms and our policies, our Green New Deal. That's what we were talking about. Green New Deal. Workers' Bill of Rights definitely needs to be in there. So, all right. Just if you have any ideas about our next topic, just leave a comment and we'll go from there. All right. Good night.